Well, first of all, welcome to Ottawa. It's nice seeing people around the city again and helping businesses and standing for what they think is or what they believe is the best for them and for their future, the future of this generation. So I appreciate you coming in here.
Yeah, and I understand that you have a friend who had different information than what you believe. So
Yeah.
so your friend was in a cab
Yes.
from out of town, and
Okay, so basically, what she definitely just asked the cab driver about what was the whole purpose of this movement and the Roaring Thunder and what are these people here for? And basically, what he said is they are here just because they are not like they don't agree with how the prices or the cost of living raised in the country. Well, it's not actually true. Because if we dig deeper into what's actually happening, these people here are screaming freedom and trying to make people know what the real meaning behind it should be, right? So the media did feed the people the wrong infos about what's actually happening. So they kind of brainwashed them in a way, just to kind of hide the truth and hide what's really happening. So there is a huge misunderstanding from the public, from the community here in Ottawa about the main purpose of this whole movement. And I just want to clarify that because people here are standing for their freedom, screaming freedom, not screaming racism or corruption whatsoever. So that should tells you a lot. So this is just a small message to the people from Ottawa. Please, these people are not any different than you. They're entitled to their own opinion, and I think everyone should have the right to manifest their freedom and question everything they're going through, because a lot of things haven't been clear through this whole shit show, through this whole pandemic, and thank God that these people took the initiative to come down here or open up our eyes to the truth, so we can start questioning what's happening and have a voice in this country.
so what I'm understanding
Yeah.
is that the cab driver
Yeah.
was listening to the media saying the Rolling Thunder was in town to battle inflation and the rise of cost of living, etc.
Yeah.
So, what do you believe they were here for? And before I answer that, to keep it quick for you, I know you're on a short time.
Yeah.
So what I'm understanding is that, well, I know why I was here.
Yes.
I was here to support the veterans.
Yes.
They had an event, and what I understand is Rolling Thunder was here to support our veterans who are
Exactly.
fighting for freedom
Yes.
in
Yes.
this country.
Yes, exactly. Well, that's the main purpose of the Royal Thunder, basically. But of course, the media have to give people false impressions about whatever is happening because they can and because they are controlled. And that's why, again, what I said earlier is that people need to question whatever is happening. Like, for me, for example, if my brain is functioning the right way, I will definitely question that. Not whatever the media is saying is what's true, because we know they're controlled by somebody else. And that was the case for the first movement as well, from the convoy. Like, the media did feed people actually like wrong and give them false impressions about whatever is happening, right? All they were saying 24/7 is these people here are to cause issues. These people here don't care about their future, don't care about this nation, while it was completely the opposite. They were here because they were scared for whatever was going to happen in the future if they kept on just following the restrictions without questioning what's happening, right? So we're always going back to the same point that the media is controlled and they want to feed people and actually give them false impressions about what's happening.
So that's kind of like propaganda, and I know you're short for time. So one last question for
Yeah.
you: how did the local businesses were they forced to close during the freedom movement in February?
Absolutely not. Nobody can force anyone to actually shut down their businesses, no matter what the circumstances are. I think, and I know, not that only that I think or I believe, I know that most businesses downtown Ottawa did close on their own without having any pressure under them or whatsoever. And yeah, just being scared of absolutely nothing. Again, we'll be going back to the same point because they're shutting their doors on themselves and listening to what the media says and believing them without actually going down to the streets and meeting the people and seeing and hearing what they're actually here for. I've met professionals, I've met beautiful families that are here for an actual point, which is true and which is their right and which is their freedom.
Yeah, what's the worst thing that you've heard about this movement? I've heard there was a cafe that was closed, and they stayed open to feed the people that visited their capital.
Yeah.
What's the worst story? And I'll leave it at that.
Well, to be honest with you, we heard a lot of things. Well, obviously, you guys have heard enough insults during this whole movement, but basically, every single business that stayed open during the convoy and during the Rolling Thunder were being called Zionists, were being called white supremacists, were being called dictators for some reason, even though the whole purpose of us staying open is basically just to do business, because we believe that we are different and that we see things differently, and that these people are not any different than us. They just believe on whatever they believe in. So there was literally nothing that should scare people from shutting down whatsoever. So we're definitely calling people names, and we're getting a lot of hate just for staying open and doing business with you guys.
I know I told you that I had zero more questions. I'm sure we could spend lots of time together, but one last question. The biggest thing that I've witnessed some things, but one thing I heard, and this is where I disagree with people who are supporting the freedom movement, is that that particular person I heard they went into I think it was a retail location, and there was an employee who the mask was ripped off. I think she was like 18 or something, and the guy reached to take her mask off and spit in her face or something. Have you heard that?
Yeah, I have heard that actually, and I mean, it was a conversation for a long time about what happened. So basically, there was just a guy that was asked to put a mask on because he was getting into a business around the city, and he simply just, not only simply that he refused, but he kind of harassed that customer service agent, or you can call her a retailer or whatsoever. He basically just snatched her mask off her face and spit at her for simply just asking him to put a mask on. But again, this shouldn't actually be a reason that we should say that all people are the same, right? There is always that 1% that will again reflect false impressions to the public, right, which we are trying to avoid. And I met you guys, and I met multiple couples and multiple families that were here standing for the right thing and being peaceful and doing things the right way. So that does not bother me at all, you know. So again, there's that 1% that is here for trouble, and the 99% that are here for good. They're here for good, and they're here to stand for whatever they believe in, and to actually open up the public eyes to what's actually happening. So there was an exception, and I know that most people that were here don't not encourage that type of behavior, and they're here for a peaceful movement and a peaceful walk, and that was it.
So that's what frustrates people are supporting the freedom movement when they're doing, but I do understand when you push somebody so far and they're so frustrated, they've lost lots of things, they're reacting the wrong way. But I understand why they're doing it, but that is not the way. So my message, I believe that anybody in the freedom movement, you have to have peace, respect, unity. Do not rip people's masks off. Let them respect that they want to still wear a mask, because we're fighting for no more. So
well, that's 100% right. It's like, but I believe that we were built to kind of control the way we react and stuff. But okay, people can be angry about certain stuff, they can disagree about certain stuff, but that does not give them the right to actually physically harass an individual again, because you don't want to give the public false impressions about what are people actually here for. You see, there was an individual that made a mistake like any other individual in the world, right? And again, they might not even be a part of the convoy. They may be just an individual that was there give people false impressions again, or to kind of like make the image of the convoy dirty. So you never know, right? So you never know. That was probably not the best reaction, probably not the best thing to do, but again, we don't know if they were a part of the convoy. We don't know if they were here for the right reasons, but I know the majority of these guys were here for the right reasons, so that does not bother me at all. It does not change the way I see stuff, like I see the freedom movement going and stuff. So yeah, there was 1% there, we're over it. So
yeah. So yeah, I appreciate you taking the time.
You're welcome.
Yeah, thank you. Like hearing, I understand you grew up in Ottawa, so you really understand what's happening in Ottawa. You're actively participating in the future of Canada. So thank you, brother, for what you do.
Thank you so much. And one last message, please, to the people of Ottawa. Again, these people that are doing or practicing the freedom movement are not different than you. You can disagree on the way it was organized whatsoever. It's completely fine. It's okay to disagree, but enough hate. Don't hate them for simply just thinking otherwise than yours. So please don't hate them. Cut them some slack. You can disagree, and that's okay. And these people are Canadians the same that you are, and this land does not belong to anybody. This is the capital of Canada, and Canadians are free. We're born free, and we'll die free.